When was the last time you truly lived according to your own wishes? Not your husband's, not your children's, not anyone else's, but yours. For the past 30 years, I have listened to thousands of women over the age of 60 tell me that they spent nearly their entire lives realizing one simple truth. Happiness does not always come from having someone beside you. Sometimes it comes from the quiet of a home where only you live. Today, I want to share with you 10 wonderful things many women have discovered when they began living alone after turning 60. Things that may surprise you, move you, and maybe even open a new chapter in your life. Number 1. Peace and quiet. Something they had never truly experienced before. When they were young, life was always loud. The house, the children, the work, nothing ever stopped. Only when they lived alone did they finally hear peace. Like Mrs. Alice Montgomery, 72 years old, a former elementary school teacher, told me, "For 40 years, I could not drink a single cup of tea without someone calling my name. Now every morning is so quiet, I can even hear the breeze." The house is not lonely. The house comes alive. And that quiet is the gift that age gives you. 2. Independence. Finally being able to decide your own life. When you live alone, you do not need to ask anyone what to eat, when to sleep, what color to paint the house, where to place the chair, or whether you should go out at 9 o'clock in the evening. You have the right to do whatever you want. Mrs. Patricia Holden, 68 years old, a former accountant, told me, "My whole life I followed other people's schedules. Now I finally know how wonderful it feels to follow my own. No compromising, no asking permission, no forcing yourself, just you and the life you choose." 3. Your home becomes a reflection of your soul. When you live alone, your home is a mirror of your heart. You want minimalism? You can have it. You want bright colors? You can have that too. You want to turn your living room into a meditation studio? It is completely up to you. Mrs. Linda Stein, 70 years old, a former librarian, shared with me, "I bought the antique pieces I loved since I was 30, the ones my husband once forbade. Now my whole house feels like a little museum. I walk in and it makes me happy instantly." The house is no longer a place you must stay. It becomes a place where you breathe deeply and think, "This is my world." 4. Rediscovering yourself, something younger people rarely have time for. Do you remember what you once loved? Painting, baking, sewing, playing the guitar, writing a journal. When you live alone, everything returns. Mrs. Margaret Hill, 66 years old, a former nurse, had always wanted to write a book about nursing. But only after living alone did she transform her spare room into a writing corner. "I wrote every day. Turns out I never lost my passion. I simply never had the time to give to it." Growing older is not the time when passion ends. It is the time when you finally have space to begin. 5. Better health because you live according to your own rhythm. There is no one else's schedule interrupting yours anymore. You sleep when you want. You eat the way your body needs. You exercise when it feels right. Mrs. Elena Ruiz, 64 years old, a former chef, shared, "For the first time in my life, I slept a full 8 hours when I lived alone. Before that, I had to get up at 5:30 to cook for the whole family." Now she practices yoga, follows a balanced diet, and walks 5,000 steps a day. Living alone does not weaken your health. It allows your health to restore itself. 6. The joy of managing everything yourself. The feeling of, "I am still strong." Many people think, older women living alone will struggle with repairs. But the truth is the opposite. Mrs. Joanne Keller, 74 years old, a former seamstress, told me, "I changed light bulbs by myself and fixed a leaking faucet on my own. After finishing each task, I felt 10 years younger." Every small thing you complete is a reminder. You were never weak. You simply were never given the chance to be strong. 7. Financial control. Simpler, clearer, and more empowering. Living alone means you spend on the right person, yourself. Do you want to save for a trip? Do you want to buy something you have loved for years? Do you want to live simply and invest in your health? Everything is your decision. Mrs. Rose Miller, 71 years old, a former bank employee, said, "I have never managed my finances as well as I do now. When I live alone, I know exactly where every dollar goes and why. No more mysterious expenses. No more needs that are not yours." 8. Social connections become genuine and meaningful. Living alone does not make you lonely. It helps you see who truly matters in your life. Mrs. Susan Carter, 69 years old, a former music teacher, joined a choir group, a yoga class, and a book club after living alone. "I have fewer friends now, but the ones who remain truly understand me." You have time for warm, gentle relationships, not draining ones. 9. Freedom to pursue your passions. No one says no to you anymore. Do you want to travel alone? Do you want to take piano lessons? Do you want to grow 20 pots of flowers or start painting like you did when you were young? You do not have to explain to anyone. Mrs. Karen Douglas, 67 years old, a former sales associate, told me, "I traveled to 3 countries on my own. The first time I was nervous. The second time I was happy. The third time I realized that any age is the right age to explore the world." 60 is not when you close your life. It is when you open it. 10. A meaningful life. A meaning created by you and only you. At this stage of life, you no longer need to fit into anyone else's mold. You do not need a husband to feel complete. You do not need to live with someone to feel warmth. You are whole simply because you are yourself. Mrs. Helen Woods, 75 years old, a former head nurse, told me a sentence I will never forget. "My whole life, I lived for everyone else. Now, living alone gives me the chance to live for myself. And I realized, better late than never." Living alone does not make you lacking. It makes you complete. And you know what? If you are living alone or preparing to begin that journey, I want you to remember one thing. You are not alone. Somewhere out there, millions of women like you are learning to slow down, soften their hearts, and find themselves in the quiet. If today's sharing made you feel a little warmer or helped you look at life with a gentler gaze, then that is exactly why I keep making these videos. If you want to join me in the next stories about aging, peace, and living well, please press like so I know you're here. Subscribe so you will not miss anything new. And if you want to spread warmth to someone, share this video with them. For now, thank you for spending your time with me today. I wish you a truly peaceful afternoon. See you in the next video. If you enjoy this video, then there's a good chance you will also like this one. Go ahead and watch it now. Thank you.